These guys are full of they're just chasing likes and subs. Don't watch this trash. Hey, you know, we're not for everybody, and I totally get that. All right, happy Monday morning to you guys out there. Hope you're doing well. Today is Monday, and part of our new schedule is doing Q&A on Monday. So my name is Mark. I am a slot technician, and I went through and I printed out a bunch of comments that we received on videos last week, and we're going to tackle them today. Some of these are pretty good, really good comments. So let's jump into it. All right, as always, if you are new here, we want to welcome you to the Gamble Smart channel. We are here for you, the average gambler. That's right, people that typically bring anywhere from 500 or less to the casino and want to learn how all of this stuff works and get through all these myths and craziness that happens inside of the casino and family and friends and internet and everything else that's pushing on you. We want to get all that cleared up so that you can build confidence and have the knowledge when you go into the casino and do better. So if that's interesting to you, we would love a subscription, a thumbs up, and ring the bell for notifications because we go live every now and then, just like we did at WinStar last weekend. All right, let's jump into these questions and comments. These first two are kind of related, so I'm going to read both of them, and then I'll give my response. So I still don't believe the eventual payout being random after dumping a ton of money into it. And if a person loses a lot of money, is it true you should go to the machine, or maybe it will hit big, yes or no? So this is a really common myth, and it's really difficult for people to understand that the machine does not look back in time to figure out what it needs to do in the future, okay? So it doesn't matter how much money has gone through the machine. That does not change how the programming of the machine works, okay? Every single spin is an independent random event. It doesn't look back to say, wow, I've paid 3 or 4 jackpots today. I need to go on the take because I got to stay in balance. No, it stays in balance naturally based on the mathematical probabilities that are built into the game, okay? So day number 1, first button press, plays exactly the same as day number 10,000 on a button press. It plays exactly the same. So just because you or you've seen somebody put a bunch of money into a machine and it didn't hit, does not mean it's due. All right, next question. All right, so another question, and this does happen from time to time, is what happens if we play halfway, let's say it's a bonus, I'm assuming, and the machine errors and needs to be rebooted? What happens? Very good question. The thing is that you will not lose your bonus. In fact, it's really cool if you play, let's say it's a 10 spin free games, and on spin number 7, the power goes out, okay? Whenever the power comes back on and they reboot the machine, you're going to see the exact same 7 spins all the way up to where the power loss occurred, and then it will continue to play because it keeps everything in memory that has occurred previously so that it can play it back if it needs to for cases like this. But also, just if you ever have a question, let's say I spun something 2 spins ago and I think I should have gotten paid on it, the system techs or the slot techs or the slot attendants can come through and actually go back in time and see what the results were. So please do not worry if there's a power loss or the machine just automatically reboots itself or whatever happens during a bonus round or play. It's going to resume exactly where it left off, and nothing changes. All right, good question. All right, this next one kind of set off some caution bells for me, and that says, play as long as the edge is in your favor. Stop playing when it isn't. Okay, so this is another kind of fallacy where people are looking for patterns and explanations on slot machines and their results, thinking that whatever's happened in the past is an indication of what's going to happen in the future. And so a good instance of this is people will go up to a machine and it's just paying a lot. They keep getting line hits and stuff, and what do they say? Oh, it's a hot machine, right? So why get off of it? Because it's in a paying cycle, and I use those in quotes. It's not in a paying cycle. You're just getting very, very lucky, and so you shouldn't determine future play off of past events. That's really the lesson here. So there's no way you can gauge a slot machine that way. You can't sit down and even with 10 spins or 100 spins or 1,000 spins, figure out what that machine is going to do next, okay? So keep that out of your mind. Stay focused on your budget, individual spins, individual random results. Got it? Next question. This is actually a comment, and I love this comment. The chase removes logic, and you quickly morph into a slot zombie. So true. The chase is real, guys. This is something that is really difficult to break from, especially slot machines these days, because they are built to tap into that part of your brain that forces you into wanting to chase. We're talking about the pigs. We're talking about the firecrackers. We're talking about all these perceived bonuses and coins piling up. Those things are designed to get you to chase, okay? They're perceived, meaning that they have no bearing or indication that it's about to pop or your bonus is about to come or anything like that. And if you don't believe us, go look in the game rules because it says it right in there. So just because it looks like that, try to fight against that chase, because that's what the slot manufacturer game designers are doing to get you to keep playing. I don't like it. I think they should really put more disclosure on there, front and center, letting you know that those pigs, those firecrackers, the pots, all that kind of stuff makes no indication that the bonus is about to hit. So don't become a slot zombie. Don't fall for that chase. Just keep your cool, watch your budget, and again, just remember every spin is completely separate. All right, next one. All right, so this next one is out of 100 machines, only 1 or 2 wins. Not true. Every machine has to win at some point. Now, they do pay out in different cycles, right? High volatility games, you're going to have a lot of low to dead, like low spins, dead spins, things like that that just aren't paying you much for the potential of getting a big bonus round. Huff and More Puff, any of the Huff and Puff games are like this, Lightning Links, Dragon Links. You're basically reserving those big wins, but have to suffer through a lot of losses to get to that, okay? And so it's still going to pay out at some point. It's just going to pay out a lot longer than it would a low volatility machine, which sacrifices those big gigantic wins for just small and steady wins. Okay, so you really got to pick which side you're on. If you like to push your risk, play the high volatility games. If you don't like to push your risk, play the low volatility games. But every slot machine has to pay out to the user at some point. So it's definitely not 1 out of 100 is a winning machine. They're all winning machines. You just have to time it right, and you just got to be lucky. Next question. All right, a lot of longtime players know there's no correct time to play the slots. I like going in the morning because I have a better chance to play the slots I want to play before the casino gets busy. That's right. Absolutely right. Good comment. So this is an old myth, the myth being that certain times of days are better. And it's really funny because people who do believe it, we've heard so many different times of the days. We've heard evenings are better. We've heard mornings are better. We've heard weekend mornings are the best. We've heard Wednesdays are the best. Thursdays are the best. You see what I'm describing here? It's randomness. But just like humans, we are looking for that pattern, and we're being, rewarded for identifying that pattern. So if you go on a Wednesday night and you're a regular and you just happen to win on Wednesday, your brain makes that connection. I'm winning because it's Wednesday. No, you're winning because you got lucky, but you're looking for that pattern, and that's just built into all of us. That's just how we function. And whenever we get gambling and alcohol and everything else going into the mix, it makes it even harder to try to ignore those patterns and understand that each spin is completely separate and random. There is no best time of day to play. But this person is right. I like going early in the mornings because it's not smoke heavy, there's not a lot of people, and most likely the game that I want to play is going to be available. That's why I go early in the morning. Okay, next question. All right, next one says, this still leaves out a human element. Casinos have to staff. Very true. Staffing when slot floors, when they aren't hitting hand pays, costs casino money. If you believe that the casino doesn't know when it needs to staff, you're mistaken. So this is kind of playing off that myth that the casino can anticipate when hand pays are going to occur. And that's completely false, okay? The casino, slot attendants, slot techs, manufacturers, gaming commission, you don't know what's going to happen next on the slot machine. There is no prediction possible. And it has to be that way by law, and there's strict regulations in place to ensure that that does not happen. Because you can imagine what kind of doors that opens. It would be insane, okay? You couldn't trust slot techs, you couldn't trust casino. I know a lot of people don't, but I got to tell you, it's very regulated for that reason, so that they can't predict what's going to happen in the future. They staff people around the busiest times, and they know when it's going to get busy because they have years and years and years of data as to what time and day are the most crowded. And it just happens that the more crowded it is, the more people in the high limit room, that kind of stuff, you're going to get more hand pays. And so they will start to raise their staff numbers because they know they're anticipating the traffic that's going to be in there. But they're not anticipating a slot machine that's about to hit. That's impossible. So that's not the reason they increase or decrease their staff numbers. It's simply due to foot traffic. Good question. Next one. All right, this is kind of a comment. These guys are full of they're just chasing likes and subs. Don't watch this trash. Hey, we're not for everybody, and I totally get that. I mean, a lot of people are very firm in their beliefs on how slot machines work, and that's fine. I mean, we are not dictators. We are not here to tell you what to think. You need to think on your own. And whether you want to take what we say to truth or not, that's up to you to decide. Okay, we have our credentials, we have our information to back it up, but it's still up to you to decide. Do your own research, that kind of thing. A lot of people do think we're full of shit, and that's okay. I mean, this is what happens when you're trying to explain what is going on in an industry that is inherently very secret about all of the stuff, about how slot machines work, about how casino operations, gaming commissioners, gaming control board. It's very secretive. It's not very transparent. And so what does that lead us to do? To start look for explanations, right? And that's where the myths start and the craziness. And I understand that, and I respect that. I really do. But we want you to at least listen to us and then go do your own research. Okay, all this information that we talk about on this channel is publicly available. You just got to look for it, and it's a little bit more difficult because you got to sift through all the nonsense first, right? But there's a lot of information out there about how all these things work. We're just trying to present it in a way that makes the most sense to people. But please go out and do your own research. If it doesn't make sense to you, you think that we're not telling you the truth, I respect that. But please go do some research, and you'll find out we are telling the truth. We have nothing to gain by not telling you. So we're trying to make you better gamblers here. All right, next question. All right, this next one is when they add artificial intelligence to the machines, it will look at previous wins. So shake my head. Here's the thing with artificial intelligence. I know it's a big thing going on right now, but there's something very important you have to understand with slot machines. The compliance is the piece that makes everything be true and random for each spin, okay? It's not that the slot manufacturers get a choice in the matter, okay? If they wanted to put energy into artificial intelligence to, let's say, change a machine so that it starts to pay when somebody is getting a bunch of losing spins so it kind of gets them to keep playing, I'm sure all slot manufacturers would love to do that. And I'm sure the casinos would love that too. But the thing is they would always get shut down by compliance. And in fact, I've talked to several people at IGT, including senior developers and product managers, where they've told me that they think it's a waste of time to even try to implement artificial intelligence in that manner on a slot machine because it would be shut down immediately. Compliance, gaming control would never allow something like that to be put into a slot machine, okay? Because slot machines have to be true and fair for everybody that's playing, meaning that person A that hits the button has to be the same as person B, same odds, same probabilities, everything, every single time that button is pressed. You cannot add weight to that, okay? And so they're not going to do that. But what artificial intelligence might get implemented in is that they're looking at stuff like trying to predict patterns in people's behaviors in gambling and making suggestions to them on the screen that maybe you should take a break or maybe you should stop because, hey, did you know that you put $20,000 in coin in the last 10 minutes? That's way outside of your normal range. They're looking at doing stuff like that, which I think is very responsible. We'll see if they end up doing that. But that's where they're focusing artificial intelligence on because they know they cannot manipulate the gameplay with artificial intelligence. Will that change in the future? I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it, but we will see. I can't predict the future, but as of right now and over the next 5 years or so, that's not going to be possible. Good question, though. Next one. And I think this is a great one to end this on, is most people keep trying to get that big win, and then they lose and said they never win. It's very true. We're always chasing that big win. And that's why we have a big problem on this channel when people talk about chasing hand pays or trying to get hand pays or trying to get a jackpot and things like that. You should really celebrate the small wins and stop focusing so much on the gigantic wins because you will go broke trying to get it. Okay, you got your first hand pay, but you spent $2,000 to get it and your hand pay was $1,300. You're not a winner, okay? You got the hand pay. Guess what? You get to pay taxes on that too. But it's not a jackpot because you've lost money. We think you should focus more on, okay, I put $300 in, I'm up to $450, I'm going to cash out and go home $150 up. That's a victory, okay? That's what we want you to focus on. Don't focus on getting the jackpots and the hand pays because it's a slippery slope. And just as this person said, that is exactly what happens. People continuously try to chase bigger wins because it's never enough. It's never satisfying enough. And that's also why we raise our bets over time too. We start with quarters, that gets boring, so we go to $1 because $1 gives us more rush. Then that gets boring, we go to $5, and then it spirals out of control for a lot of people. So we recommend not focusing on trying to get those jackpots and those top line hits and stuff like that. Just be happy with the small wins, the small successes. Take the W, Leave with money. That's what's important. All right, guys, hope you appreciated this Monday morning Q&A, and we will see you tomorrow. And don't forget, we are going to be in Lake Charles at the Delta Downs Casino this weekend. So Friday through Sunday we'll be there. Hope to see all you guys from Houston, Austin, San Antonio, or even if you're in Louisiana, we'd love to see you. And as always, gamble smart, gamble safe. Guys, take care. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.